We are live on YouTube, and it looks like we are getting live on Facebook. Good afternoon. I hope you are not one of the 200 million Americans who are being negatively affected by heat today. In Cincinnati, the temperature isn't bad yet. It's going to get worse, but with 200% humidity, it makes everything worse. So it's pretty miserable. It's pretty miserable. And I did a posting earlier today that I really, really cannot believe that folks are in denial of a climate change. I mean, look at the weather map has never looked like it looked this morning for sure. This morning's weather map across the country was actually history making. So it's pretty wild. About an hour ago, I read a posting, and it got my attention because Barbara Breckenridge and Wes Anderson were on my payroll, and actually, I made a statement to Barbara. I will correct it right now. Barbara, I did a posting. I replied to your, and I asked, were you late for work that day? And I think well, that was 1978, and you were on the payroll until 1979. So I apologized for challenging you. And I was wondering, back in the day, did I ever meet Roland, who, what were you doing? It was Throwback Wednesday. So I apologize because I got my dates wrong, my years wrong. But hope you are. I hope you're staying out of the heat, but probably not. Okay, so quickly to literally this morning, about an hour ago, I went to my mailbox, and I can't believe how AARP gets it done, particularly how horrible mail delivery is. I think it's pretty bad in Cincinnati. I know it's horrible in my zip code, and I am very, very friendly with my mail carrier. Actually saw him yesterday filling his mail van up, and I was asking him, I said, "What's going on?" And he kind of laughed. He kind of laughed, but he said, "You know what? Things are a mess. Things are so bad right now. He was called in to work this last Sunday, and he was getting double pay because he agreed to come in on the Sunday." And he said he in all his years in the post office, he's never been asked to work on a Sunday. We do not get mail delivery to our front door every day, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. It is what it is. But today, I got two publications from AARP, and if you follow me, you know that I'm a staunch advocate of AARP in literally everything they do. They have it all down. I don't know if I've ever shared this story about AARP. Actually, it was probably 1996. I went to Washington representing the folks, the company I was working with, and the purpose of the gathering, AARP invited uh, anybody who wanted to try to bid for their $1 zillion worth of business. It was a good sized contract. It was probably a plus or minus a $20 million contract that we were all these people were coming into one room. Well, I had a lot of fun that day. I made friends that day from competitors, so to speak, and we remained friends for years after. And uh, it was a great day. Thank you, AARP, for the opportunity. But they came out with a new magazine today. Uh, they come out with a glossy cover magazine. I'm going to have to look. I think it's the same format. The paper grade might be a little less here, but whatever. And I kind of knew it wasn't time for them to come out with the publication. So I kind of start studying, and it said special summer issue. I said, oh, okay, that explains why they are coming out with it now. And there's no question in my mind. The biggest why is because they're going to make a ton of profit on this with the amount of advertising that they have going. So it was a good business decision also. But good articles, cover article for love of country. 4 generations of musical storytellers talk about the things that unite us. I recognize some of those faces. And why the year you that is a baby boomer listening to here will want to read that article. Uh, there, see in the table of contents, nothing is jumping out. James Patterson revealed, uh, but the other interesting, there must be a monthly publication. I get it often. Uh, oh, this is the July and August edition, so they combined their summer editions with what they call it their bulletin. Cover story is 90 great ways to save, beat inflation. And I ask you the question, is inflation impacting any of your lives directly? And that is a rhetorical question. I know the answer to that one. So I'm going to review the magazines and uh, share information that there's a lesson to be learned or fun to be had. Yesterday, I made the comment that it was one of the best marketing sales days ever. I think I said ever for me. If I didn't say ever, I am saying ever today because the energy flowed in today, and a lot of things have been happening in once once I pushed the button in less than 24 hours. A lot of things have happened. It all started last Friday. I had an epiphany, and you can't be an entrepreneur unless you have epiphanies. Something wakes you up, something drives you, something, an idea comes, and you say, yes, that's something I need to work on. That's an epiphany. Well, last Friday, an epiphany came to me as I've been looking at different things and researching, and um, well, it all has evolved because of the institute and the institute creating the New World Institute, creating things that are happening today I know they're happening today because the ideas that I share are all tested. I'm doing them. And my motto is just do what I do. It, uh, it's been working, and I'm more than happy uh, with some uh, whatever. Uh, had the epiphany that, um, well, it doesn't, small businesses are being challenged today as they never have been challenged before. I don't care what the business is. 2 years ago, our lives dramatically changed. And so with it came front doors of businesses closing till whenever you were able to go back in and open them up and get back to business. We spent a long time inside. Actually, my lifestyle did not change one iota in the last couple of years. I've been living that lifestyle for the better part of 10, well, certainly the last 7 years and the better part of 10 years. But we had the, back in the 80s, mid 80s, I think 1985 to be precise, I was very, very, very heavily involved in direct marketing, direct mail. That's what I was doing. That's where my energies were going. And for two companies, I created a zip code marketing strategy. And it was a convenience store chain that has 750 stores. And I built a program for them where they would know that store 78 covers the 5,000 homes around that is this zip code. That's the database that I built for them back then. And it was amazing. A couple times a year, we went to the entire database of close to 3 million. And that happened pretty much, it happened on a quarterly basis, once a quarter. The zip code marketing concept, they were able to use literally day to day. If store 78 was having a problem, I get a call from, so many people were calling me. Probably Tom. It's probably Tom. He probably sorted all the calls for me. He said, "This is the store. We want to do a mailing," and within 48, maybe 72 hours, a mailing was ready for them. Many, many times we went to the postcard, this size postcard. We did that. We use all kinds of formats. Actually, this was probably our most used format because we put 4 coupons on here. I created this postcard. This is the front, back, for myself. I did it in the last year. I ordered 500 cards, and I did so I could test a bunch of different things that I wanted to test. I wanted to see where direct mail was, where direct marketing was, and well, the information that I was able to gather, I took these concepts and put them together. And yesterday, I put this entire card together yesterday. Barbara and Gwyneth, I did the graphic design of this card. And it doesn't have to be this way. I am, let's go to, this is the front. Shop your zip code. In this case, I've got a bank that I am going to send a video email of me telling why I'm doing what I am doing. That will be ready to send them by end of day tomorrow. Well, this is very basically, each one of these QR codes represents a small business in that zip code. The main area represents a bank who is in that zip code. So that is why I am presenting the concept to the bank. Each one of these QR codes, and there's 11 of them, represents a web landing page. So that's what's going to be created for the bank on behalf of their customers, whatever configuration they happen to choose. And I will create, I am coming up with a number 5,000 cards. That's what my pricing is predicated on. I have a feeling that once they brainstorm the concept with me, there might be a lot more than 5,000 postcards, but I priced it based on 5,000 cards. So all these small businesses, and this is the bank, all these small businesses are going to get some activity in their business because the consumer, you and I, who we have been cooped up for a lot of years, and our habits changed. The concept of consumerism has to be defined differently than before the pandemic, for sure. And that's the data points that will be created with this card. So I put that all together yesterday, the card itself, the concept, and the little artwork that I did. And the next thing that I did was I sent a text message to my son in Columbus, who is the senior VP of strategy for his company. I said, how's my strategy, son? And he only had one question, and he said, and I didn't go through everything. I just top line bullet points for him. And his only comment was, I hope the banks buy it. And I said, Jordan, if that is the only shortcoming, well, the banks will buy it. I guarantee you they will, because everybody wins. Everybody wins. Bankers, they will, for what I am going, what price tag I put on this concept, this package, this event, and it's going to last for 100 days. On day 101, we will meet and discuss what happened, what didn't happen, and we will define next steps. That's how that will go. But it's a 100-day concept. There's no sense in keeping it going. At some point in life, in anything we do, there is a diminishing return. We won't get back as much. It starts as we put in, and we have to understand where that diminishing return happens. And as we see it happening, try something else. We don't want diminishing returns. We want increased returns. So I had a good time. Back to more importantly, and this is how things tie together. Back in 2005, Jordan and his brother graduated high school and went to college. Jordan picked the Ohio State University, and my other son Sam chose Miami. And both those choices, if they asked you, they had other ideas and other dreams and other things going on. But if you ask them in retrospect, would they make the same choice? And they both would say absolutely yes. Well, in 2005, Jordan, he went to college. Um, his dream was to get involved in graphic design and marketing and whatever. And he called me up and he said, and this was halfway through the first term. He said, "Dad, would you mind if I changed my major?" I said, "Well, I'm sure not, but what's going on?" And he said, "Well, I did not declare graphic design art as my major, and it's very, very difficult for me to get into class because I did not declare it a major." I said, "Yeah, well, totally understood." Um, and he said, "Would you mind if I changed my my degree to marketing?" And I laughed. I said, "Jordan, why?" Well, that's a rhetorical question. Number one, marketing and sales is the only thing that your father knows. Number two, how much fun would it be someday if we would do a marketing and sales project together? How much fun would that be? Not could that be, it would be. And number three, I have never taken a business course, a marketing course, a sales course in college. Everything that I have learned has literally been from the streets, and my clients. My clients have taught me everything I know. And thank you, clients, for doing that. And along the way, I've gotten some mentors and followed them, and having an interesting time there. So today, I have been working on putting together my web landing page for ZipCode Marketing. And it's not ready to go yet, but I am using a different approach and a different format than I have ever used before. And I have built about at least 15 of these, maybe closer to 20 in the last 2 years. Uh, they are an outstanding marketing and sales tool, reflecting on what's happening today. Uh, and so on this particular one, I usually have 3 videos that are stacked on one another. And there's a reason why, and I do it, and you can see by looking at the copy next to the video. But for some reason today, I decided to go with 2 videos side by side. And maybe the reason I did that because there was a section beneath that I had never really seen before. It was a template, and I never seen this template before. But it allowed me to tell a story like I've never done before, and I liked what I did well. So I started doing that today. I've got by once again end of day tomorrow, because I need this in my presentation to the bank. By end of day tomorrow, I will have 3 videos done on. One's a web landing page, 2 of the web landing page. One is an email to the bank, and we'll see what happens. But I got real excited when I was doing my research and saw that there are over 41,000 zip codes in this country, and the concept can work in any zip code. Well, typically any zip code, except maybe some really urban ones that wouldn't work so well. Wow, well, there's a lot. There's a lot to be done, and it's going to keep me or somebody busy for a pretty long time, I would think. So that's all good stuff. Uh, Thank you for your time today, and I hope there were some things that you were able to take away, some things to think about, and remember, do what you love and love what you do. I'll see you soon. We are live on YouTube, and it looks like we are getting live on Facebook. Good afternoon. I hope you are not one of the 200 million Americans who are being negatively affected by heat today. In Cincinnati, the temperature isn't bad yet. It's going to get worse, but with 200% humidity, it makes everything worse. So it's pretty miserable. It's pretty miserable. And I did a posting earlier today that I really cannot believe that folks are in denial of a climate change. I mean, look at the weather map has never looked like it looked this morning for sure. This morning's weather map across the country was actually history making. So it's pretty wild. Uh, about an hour ago, I read a posting, and it got my attention because uh, Barbara Breckenridge and Gwyneth Anderson were on my payroll, and actually, I made a statement to Barbara. I will correct it right now. Barbara, I did a posting. I replied to your, and I asked, um, were you late for work that day? And I think well, that was 1978, and you were on the payroll until 1979. So I apologize for challenging you. And I was wondering, uh, back in the day, did I ever meet Roland, who, uh, what were you doing? It was Throwback Wednesday. So I apologize because I got my dates wrong, my years wrong. But hope you are. I hope you're staying out of the heat, but probably not. Okay, so quickly to literally this morning, about an hour ago, I went to my mailbox, and I can't believe how AARP gets it done, particularly how horrible mail delivery is I think it's pretty bad in Cincinnati. I know it's horrible in my zip code, and I am very, very friendly with my mail carrier. Actually saw him yesterday filling his mail van up, and I was asking him, I said, "What's going on?" And he kind of laughed. He kind of laughed, but he said, "You know what? Things are a mess. Things are so bad right now.